Hey, welcome to Last Minute Betting with the Sports Nuts. Bob and Mike. Actually, we're the OddsJam Nuts now, aren't we, Mike?
Yes, sir.
That's right. You can find us on TikTok, OddsJam_Nuts with a Z.
That's me, Bob. You'll see Alex popping in on there. All three of us, we're nuts. But you know
We're
what?
nuts.
We're profitable.
Profitable nuts, if there is such a thing, yes, with a live fade out. All right, we are here live, and we have live chat, Mike. So that's cool. That happened the other day, and we decided, you know what? Let's just stick with it. Just stick with it. All right. We don't forget, sign up and click the links below for the best sports books in your state. More books you're in, the more profitable you become. And the OddsJam partner link, share OddsJam with your friends, and you get 20% of all the revenue that generates. And don't forget, folks, if you just want to sign up, go to oddsjam.com, and you can sign up, and you get the free bet tracker. You can get 3 free bets. 3 free bets, man, delivered to your email on a daily basis. So we do welcome chat here. We're excited about doing that. It's the first show that we've had that we're doing that with. And let's just kind of go and look at what's happening right now as we're keeping up here. Cardinals are losing to the Brewers 4-0. Mike, not a good game.
No,
Wainwright not doing very well.
nobody cares.
Nationals over the Pirates in the bottom of the first 3-1. Phillies over the Marlins 1-0. Rain delay in the Jays in the Yankees game. The A's beat the Rays, man. The Oakland Athletics are 4-3, 4-3 away from home. Nobody figured this one coming. And I know,
well, Bob, this happens every year in baseball. I mean, as a guy who says I've watched baseball for so many decades and so many years longer than you, how have you not realized that now at the beginning of the year, you're going to see really good teams not play good? You're going to see I'm not saying the A's are a bad team, but let's face it, projection-wise, they're pretty well projected to finish at the bottom of their division. So I'm not going to overreact like you tend to do, because there's people like you that overreact.
I just said don't overreact. I never said I was overreacting.
Well, I know how you get. You overreact on things like that sometimes.
No, you're absolutely 199% wrong. But what I did is I changed, because I had the Rays -1.5 last night, and I went with the over 8 and a hit 9. So I won the bet. What'd you do? All right, Mariners over the White Sox 5-1. Not a good ending to that series for the White Sox. We've got things coming up in the NHL tonight with Washington and Toronto. Pretty big game, but you know what? It really doesn't matter. I think there's going to be a lot of goals in that game. Edmonton and Nashville is a pretty big game tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And probably the big in Minnesota and Dallas too, if you're in the Central Division. But a big game is Vegas and Calgary, because Calgary could come close to burying Vegas very soon. What do you think?
Yep, that seems to be the case. And Vegas has just been injury plagued all season. And unfortunately for them, they've not been able to overcome it. And they have not had the goaltending I think that they anticipated they would have. So you wondered now if maybe getting rid of Fleury was it the right move, Bob? I mean, I don't know. Injuries definitely really killed them, but it happens to a lot of teams. Here they lie now with Calgary, an opportunity to really, really bury them deep in the standings. Talked about Nashville and Edmonton. It's at home for Nashville. We'll get more into that game later on, Bob, when we get to our locks.
Okay. All right. Well, I've already picked it, so I can tell you what I did. It was in my NHL best bets today. By the way, folks, go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe. Jordan Thackeray, squash the beef, boys.
We can't, man, because we can't because he overreacts sometimes on things. 162 game season in baseball. I'm not going to make a whole lot out of the entire month of April. The Atlanta Braves, I believe, were like a 500 or below team in April last year. They won the World Series and they lost their best player, arguably. Well, not arguably, he was. I know they had Freddie Freeman, but Acuna was absolutely their best player. So, look, things happen. Let's not overreact. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not.
We'll squash it now.
For the last time, and I'm going to mute you if you say it again. I am not overreacting, and I'm turning my hat on backwards because I am going to bop you one here in a second. All right. What do you got to say?
Let's squash it. Let's squash it, as your boy said. Squash the beef.
Squash the beef, boys. All right. What do you got, Mike? You're wanting to talk so much. Why don't you talk?
Let's talk about some NBA. I mean, I'm sure some people would like to hear a little bit about the NBA.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah. Let's break down a couple of these series quickly and briefly.
You go right ahead because I've heard enough NBA for me. These games that we're playing, these playing games are just, as I've said, they're a joke. But go ahead.
Well, let's talk about this Raptors-Sixers game, matchup, I should say. Look, if you remember, it wasn't long ago, remember the shot Kawhi hit that really broke the heart of Philadelphia, the entire city, and one of the greater shots we've seen. And here we are in a rematch in this series, and this Toronto team is a completely different team than they were then. And I think that Toronto, they're a good team against the spread this year, Bob. They're 46-35-1 against the spread for the year. Philadelphia is only 38-43-1 against the spread. I think there's some value for Toronto covering in this series. And honestly, I think you got to look at this series to go deep. And I'm talking about 6 games because I think the trio of Siakam, Van Fleet, and Scotty Barnes has been really good for Toronto. They got the home cooking now, back at home court advantage with the fans being able to attend. I think that helps them being a good home, respectable team. And James Harden, Bob, hey, he's had his playoff struggles, man. Do we expect that to continue? We'll see. Embiid's got to be dynamite. He's got to put up 30 and 12, 13, 14 rebounds and 7 assists every game for them to, in my opinion, hold off Toronto because that's how good Toronto is. Now, I like Philly to win the series.
Okay. Now, can I tell you something? You're not going to hear me retort or anything. I just got one thing to say. Joel Embiid is too worried about winning the MVP. That's just my opinion. He thinks he should be the front runner. He's made a couple of comments here and there. He's worried about stuff he don't need to be worried about. That's all I got to say.
Okay, well, fair enough. I would say that in defense to Embiid, though, I think he just wants a little more respect probably than he tends to get. I think that's all that is.
Cry me a river. That's all I got to tell you. Cry me a river. All right, you got anything else in the NBA? Because we're going to move to positive EV here.
Well, I mean, there's several series we got to break down. I mean, we talk about the Nets and Celtics real quick. A rematch of last year's NBA playoffs 2-7 matchup. And it was the Nets that were able to beat the Celtics in 5 games as the 2 seed then. A year later, here we are. The Celtics are the 2. The Nets are the 7. Boy, this is a really intriguing series, Bob, because you're getting Brooklyn at plus money in this series. And look, I understand Boston has one of the best defensive teams, best defensive ratings in the NBA, but I'm really worried in this series for Boston, a team that I was personally high on coming in to the playoffs. Actually, months ago, I told Bob, he can attest to this, that I was really high on Boston, but I'm scared in this series because Brooklyn has something to prove. I like the way their defense has been playing lately. And I got to say, Bob, I think Brooklyn wins this series in 7 games. I just do.
Okay. All right. You may be right. So you know what? I soloed you there. I went ahead and did that because you got more to say about this than I do because I'm not ready to talk NBA playoffs yet. These don't start till Saturday. These these other series. These playing games are first. We got to figure out what the matchups are beyond
Well,
the
we know
ones that
these
are
matchups.
already
We're talking about the matchups that we got, Bobby.
No, but this is last minute betting, and I want to get to some bets tonight. Can we get there? Is that
Let's
a
get to it,
possibility?
Bob. Let's get to
All
it,
right.
man. I'll tell you what. You're on one tonight, man. Like who? Wow. I got notes for about 4 or 5 series here, and you're just wanting to.
And you know what?
What?
You're going to use.
Hey,
You're going to
light
use.
this guy up, chat. Light this guy up. Let him know you
You're
want to
gonna-
hear some NBA talk. Light him up.
You're
Light
going to
this-
hear. You're going to use those notes for tomorrow's OddsJam TV show, and we can do this tomorrow. It'd be great, but you know, we just had an hour of breaking down.
I'm here all day and all night, man. I'm ready to go whenever you are. We can do it here. We can do it later. We can do it tomorrow. We can do it next week. Whatever.
You got any plays for me tonight or not?
I do, Bob. I've got some positive EV plays that I've already placed, and I'll let you guys know about them right now. I got Aaron Judge. Now, listen, this game's already started, so let's not even talk about that one.
Okay.
That one has as well, so we got to wait on that one. Bryce Harper bet. What's that, Bob?
Let me share my screen.
Man, you're interrupting like crazy and you're just winging it, aren't you? You're just basically winging it here.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, we took Bryce Harper over 1.5 player bases. Obviously, that game is already too late, so nothing we can do on a couple of these that we placed. So let's find some on the positive EV page that we can hit right now.
Okay, so I have player earned runs with Shohei Ohtani under 2.5, minus 151 on the OddsJam perfect line, minus 115 of BetMGM, Caesars, and DraftKings. Mike, add that to your no-vig calculator and tell me what the fair odds are.
Give it to me again, man.
Well, the minus 151 on the under and plus 114 on the over, which is a market with a 37, folks, but on player props, it is higher.
So your plays on the under?
Yes.
So minus 128 would be the fair odds.
Okay, and we can get it for minus 115. You think we ought to hit that, Mike?
Yeah, I think that's a profitable play, and I think that when we took the juice out of it, we found that we got really good value on that play, so I think that's a safe one to take.
All right, we're going to add it to the bet tracker now.
How about Ohtani on the strikeouts?
Yeah, I know. I seen that. The over 5.5, right? Didn't he strike out 9 the other day?
Yeah, I think I like that play.
Okay, minus 192 on the OddsJam perfect line, getting it for minus 145. We've got a minus 192 and a plus 142.
Minus 192 and a plus
142.
142. So the fair odds on that play, what they're telling us would be minus 159 once we took the juice out of that. So we are getting it at minus 145. Profitable play when you look at what we got to work with this late in the evening. We'll go ahead and roll with it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, you know what? I love the way you just said that. That was beautiful. Great job.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
I think we finally squashed our beef, huh?
Sometimes. I don't have any beef. I'm just, I'm ready to talk NBA after we get done with this, all right? Here, first half total runs in the Reds in Cincinnati game. Over 4.5.
The Reds in Cincinnati game.
The Dodgers in Cincinnati.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, you know what, dude? Catch every mistake. Why don't you? All right. There's a 17-cent market with here. It's plus 117 and minus 134. When you put it in that calculator, what do you come up with fair market odds as?
Minus 134 and plus
117.
117. So it looks like our fair odds on that are minus 124.
Okay, we can get it for minus 105. Now,
Okay.
folks, first half of a baseball game is the first 5 innings. So there you go.
FFI.
That's right. So let's add it to the bet tracker, which we did. And
let me point out, Bob, real quick. I need to point out that has over a 55% chance of hitting is what Pinnacle is telling us.
Which is really, really good. All right. So you can see we added this to the bet tracker. It shows what sport book these are in. It shows the market name, the event, what the odds are. In this particular case, no closing line value here. This Cardinal bet, which is not winning right now, had a pretty good advantage over the closing line value. And then what the stake is, what the potential payout is, whether it's positive EV or normal play. And this thing also is graded, okay, on a daily basis. And all you got to do, Mike, is sign up on OddsJam.com, right?
That is right, man. Get to OddsJam.com. Check out all the great tools that they have to offer. We are showing you some absolutely profitable, insanely easy to use tools that you can add to your betting process and make money.
Okay. And so when I click over here, you can see what the profit is, pending bets, return on investment, and the percentage of the place bets that have beat the closing line value. It's a great tool. It's great, folks. You need to use that positive EV and the bet tracker. They are fantastic. All right. I got a couple
Let's get to the comments.
I got Edgar Covarrubias said, he's got a funny face there. He's laughing. Jordan Thackeray came back with Bob is a morning guy for sure. You know what? Let me tell you something, Jordan. I don't have to deal with him in the morning. All right. Oh, yeah. I got you there, baby girl. Woo! All right, Mike. So listen, all right. It's not that I don't want to talk about the NBA, okay? I'm willing to talk about it right now all you want. I just wanted to get to some of the last minute betting opportunities that are there, okay? Put the music
I'll tell you
on.
what, Bob, you pick a matchup that you want to hear about. Pick one you want to hear about.
I really don't have one at this time that I'm even thinking about. I really had, honestly, I put so much thought into baseball today. Minnesota and Memphis, my boy Cat against my boy Ja.
Okay. Well, we'll briefly run through this. Your boy Cat has got to stay out of foul trouble because that's going to be crucial in this best of 7 series. And look, Minnesota was super hyped about winning that game. You saw the reaction out of Beverly facing his former team. I get it. They were excited. The fan base hasn't been here in a long time. They love this. I'm happy for him. But this Memphis Grizzlies team is young and has a chip on their shoulder too. So I think you need to kind of not get overexcited about that win you had against the Clippers and now realize, look, you're in for a long grind now because this Memphis Grizzlies team, I understand Morant. What's the issue with him? Is he banged up? How healthy is he going to be? Look, they've shown that without him, they are still the best team in the NBA against the spread at 52-29-1 on the season. So I have no doubt that the Memphis Grizzlies will be able to win this series, and I expect it to be 5 games, 6 games at the absolute max. And I'm a big Anthony Edwards fan. He's going to put his stamp on this series in some of these games. I expect that. But I think Memphis is just a feisty, more scrappy team than what Minnesota is.
Got a comment in the chat, Mike. Groovy Cap said, let's win in a 3-team parlay NHL. Vancouver on the puck line, Predators on the money line, and Blackhawks plus 1.5. I like it.
I like it a lot.
I do. I really do, Groovy Caps. That's all right. And
Yes.
Edgar said, put the music on, Bob. See, these are my morning people, Mike. So, you know.
You got me outnumbered is what you're saying, huh?
That's right. That's right. I planned it that way too. Hey, I appreciate you guys commenting. Comment all you want. We don't care. Just be nice. Let's have fun. That's what it's all about here in OddsJam country. All right. So, Mike, I'm gonna let you talk one more time about the NBA and this Denver Golden State series with obviously a lot depends on Steph. Um, he's optimistic about playing in game one. Is Jokic enough to take that series, or are we kidding ourselves there?
Well, Golden State certainly started out as one of the hottest teams in the NBA. And obviously, with Steph getting hurt, with Draymond Green being hurt, that has hurt them a lot, ironically, right? Hurt.
Right.
Get it?
Yeah, I got
Look, this is a tough series to break down because I think that the Warriors have somewhat of a target on their back here, and I think that the Denver Nuggets are going to want to take them out and prove that they've not really been talked about heavily, because I think a lot of people expect Golden State with Steph in the lineup, they'll be good to go. But the worry is, Bob, is if they get on any kind of roll like they were at the beginning of the year, then we have trouble, because then Golden State not only becomes a potential threat to bounce Denver, they become a threat to bounce a lot of teams. So ultimately, I don't know how healthy Steph is yet and how he's going to be able to perform. So I lean towards Denver in about a 6-7 game series.
Okay.
But if we find out game 1 or 2 or whenever he returns that this team can play like they were, then yeah, Golden State.
All right. I got Groovy Caps. He wants to know what's your pick to win the Stanley Cup. Who you got, Mike, to win the Stanley Cup? Make it quick.
My pick to win the Stanley Cup, and look, if you're wanting value, there's not value here. But for me, the team that is favored to win the Stanley Cup and that I think has the best chance is Colorado. And the reason why is, look, remember what Tampa Bay was before they won back-to-back cups? They were a team that was bounced in the first round by an 8 seed and considered an underachieving team. Colorado has kind of that same label on them as an underachieving team, and I think Colorado is finally ready to take the next step and win a Stanley Cup.
Okay. All right. I got you. Jordan said Flames minus 1.5 looks good tonight. Also, yeah, that very well could be, but you know what? You never know. You got some experience there in Alex Pietrangelo. I got to tell you something, guys. I just got to tell you this. I'm going to be a homer. Until my Blues are knocked out, I just believe that Mike, let me finish. I just believe that they have the type of team that can go through that grueling Stanley Cup run. Now, they're going to wind up playing Colorado in the second round if they don't lose to Minnesota. If they do, we're going to find out. But, Mike, what if they beat Colorado in that second round? Will you believe then?
Yeah, 100% I would believe then. But
until then?
I will say this. You won't see what happened previously when they faced Colorado and got swept. You won't see that.
But, right. I agree.
And you'll have a long series if the Blues match up with Colorado, and it'll take a lot out of Colorado. But what it will do for Colorado, Bob, is it will give them an opportunity to test themselves.
Oh, I love this, man. Edgar said, Mike, you're killing me. Edgar, you're on my side, man. Yeah. Let's see. Groovy Cap said, I didn't understand what he was saying about this Denver game. If Curry plays, bet the over. Okay, I get that.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And the first half in the Denver game. But then he came back with St. Louis Blues betting individually game by game. Let's make money on the Blues. So Groovy Caps understands that you can make money on that team by betting them. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I don't disagree with that at all. Look, I think they're a threat, and I think if you're Colorado, that's most certainly a team that matches up well with you and can really grind you down. But you have to worry if Colorado is able to find that next level that we think and have thought they have had. And look, they've got the confidence to go against the Blues because they have had success. So
how you like it? How you
we'll
like
see.
that, guys? Huh? There you go. Stanley Cup champs. There you go. Hey, we got to have fun, right, guys? That's what it's all about. We can't take this shit too seriously. It's sports and it's love. And you know what? I love sports betting. I bet 15 games a day or make 15 bets a day. So you got to be into it. Thank you, Groovy Caps. He said, cool shirt. Jordan Thackeray, Mike, just live bet Buffalo plus 140 to get Bob going even more tonight.
Oh, man.
Hey, guys, do me a favor.
Bob, can I tell you something, though? The Blues, as good as they've been as of lately, the one thing I've said about them is they've had some inconsistencies. So maybe it is due. Maybe they are due for a little slip here. That's good value. So, but
okay, and that very well possibly could be because they've won 6 in a row and 8 out of the last 9. But let me tell you something right now. They've been scoring first, and when they score first, they win. And when they score first, let me tell you what Braden Shen said. Oh, by the way, Stanley Cup champion, okay? He said, when we score first, we go north and south. We get the puck in deep and we go get it. When we don't, we try to get too fancy. In the playoffs, you can't get too fancy. These teams like Florida and Toronto, you're going to find out come playoff time, buddy. They're going to have a tough time doing the dipsy doodle. You got to play. You got to hit. You got to be a man out there. You got to bang it.
Yeah, well, Florida did add a guy in Claude Giroux who is a physical player somewhat himself. I think that Florida's not a soft team like you're trying to make them out to be. You're insinuating that because they're a high-scoring team and a fast-paced offensive team that means they're soft. You're wrong. They're not a soft team.
They are not they're not a dump and chase type of team. They're not a north and south team. They're an east and west team. That is exactly what they are, okay? And you can get by with that in the regular season. Just like we were just talking earlier, the NBA, scoring goes down in the playoffs, right? You ain't going to have the same fast break crap that you had in the regular season. It ain't going to happen like that. It's a different game, more half-court offense. That's the way hockey is too. Groovy Caps is a Blackhawks fan, but he's been to the Blues Stadium, and he says it's a lot of fun. Go Blues. Buffalo's up 1-0. I missed my chance. All right, look, folks, that's the end of the show tonight. We could go on here forever and chat with you guys. Thanks for joining in. We're going to have that chat open every day. Last minute betting tomorrow. Also tomorrow at 12:30 Central, 1:30 Eastern Time, we will have OddsJam TV with Randall and Steve, the golf gurus, and the college basketball gurus with me and Mike. I bet the over in the Blues game, too. Yes, I did. All right, thanks, folks. Thanks for tuning in. See you tomorrow night. Mike, say bye.
See you guys. Thanks for tuning in.